I can never tell if deep down I'm a really sad person or a really happy person. Obviously the answer is neither, because life is too nuanced for that. But I was a child, and then I was a teenager, and then I was a comedian living a pretty carefree life until relatively recently. It didn't occur to me to ask. But I'm in my 20s now, and I have plenty of negative to balance out the positive. I know stress and the issues that it can cause. I'm confident and sure of myself to a point, but I worry about the big things, and I dwell on interpersonal stuff. I have no faith in my life. Although, I kinda do, just not religion. I'm a humanist, which I think is bigger and has greater capacity for love and beauty. I mean, it comes down to how you want people to see you. Are you this infinite pool of potential and possibilities completely responsible for your actions, or are you somewhat limited? I choose the former, and with it comes plenty of questions and doubt. And one of the things that kind of comes bundled with that choice is awareness of mortality. Looking at my favorite movies, albums, and books, you would think I was the saddest person in the world. This is what I got from my family for Christmas. A downpour of tragedy and personal crisis. And I always say, yeah, but it's a celebration, isn't it? It's an outlet. It's vicarious. Over the new year, I reread one of my favourite novels, Girlfriend in a Coma by Douglas Coupland, an author whose work, which I will be directly quoting a couple of times, I apologise, forces this introspective mood on me. I really don't have a choice in the matter, which is what I love about it. I also read Player One, a novel which he originally prepared as a series of lectures. It's similar in a lot of ways, maybe too similar, even going as far as having characters quote things that were said in Girlfriend. But it comes with something really interesting, an epilogue in the form of a future legend. He argues that we need to start coming up with terms for phenomena that are uniquely modern, and he suggests a few. Some of them are soberingly accurate. Let me read you a few. Crystallographic money theory. The idea that money is a crystallization or condensation of time and free will. It's true. At least it's been my experience that money is not necessarily power, but it is freedom. I don't need or want money for the sake of money. Or at least I don't think so. Although luxury, food, clothes, experiences are nice from time to time, they're also not why I want money. When I ask myself why I need to earn money, the best answer I can come up with is because it will allow me to do other things, or greater things, or at the very least give me time to consider what I want to do. If you're working like I have most of my life, check to check, worried about paying bills, you don't have time to think about those things. And I've noticed that the few times I've managed to sustain having a little more money than I need, I've been a completely different person with different priorities. With that out of the way, I can think more clearly. De-romanticizing dysfunction. And here he actually quotes someone else called Alice Flaherty. All the theories linking creativity to mental illness are really implying mild disease. People may be reassured by the fact that almost without exception, no one is severely ill and still creative. He also quotes Sylvia Plath as saying, when you're insane, you're busy being insane. All the time when I was crazy, that's all I was. Which is to say, I think that a healthy amount of questioning and sadness and issues can be a good thing for an artist. I think I have those, but I'm not ill. I know that much. De-selfing. Willingly diluting one's sense of self and ego by plastering the internet with as much information as possible. Okay, this is where we run into issues. I think I do that. I think everyone that I know does that. I think most people in the Western Hemisphere do that. And honestly, I think if I were in any other industry, I would stop. What is social media to me, I guess, is the question. It's a means to an end, I think. I mean, Twitter is useless. I have a Twitter. I consider myself fun to follow on Twitter. But it doesn't achieve anything. I don't read anyone else's tweets. I actually changed my timeline to a list that has no one on it so that my timeline is refreshingly empty. I only read my mentions. I mean, I read all my mentions, but nothing else. I don't feel a compulsion to share myself personally on the internet. I feel a compulsion to make things, music, short films, to write monologues or vlogs or whatever they end up being. It's about where you draw the line. I guess as an artist, there's an unavoidable amount of ego in art. At some level I have to believe that what I'm saying right now is worth your time. I have no excuse for that. Social media is marketing. Whether you're marketing a product or just for some reason marketing yourself as just a great human. That's all it is. Exosomatic memory. Memory stored in externalized databases, which at some point will exceed the amount of memory contained within our collective biological bodies. In other words, there will be more memory out there than exists inside all of us. I only include that because it's cool. I don't really know how that pertains to me, except that at this point I have catalogued so much of my life in video that I do have my own little external hard drive of life. PBFB mostly. Those 2 years that I worked on Past Bing, Future Bing should have faded naturally. You know, details go, the emotional cores stay, but everything, all the details drift away. And that hasn't happened because I catalogued it in a way that is unnatural. Instant reincarnation. This one's particularly relevant. Most adults, no matter how great their life is, wish for total radical change in their lives. The urge to reincarnate while still alive. I mean, that's me. And that's part of why I'm doing all of this. I've talked before about wanting to reinvent oneself, wanting to change your life. And I think it's perfectly natural to grow out of certain things or certain ideas, goals. What I'm scared of is reaching a point where I have this desire to change, but ignore it or suppress it. Internal voice blindness. The near universal inability of people to articulate the tone and personality of the voice that forms their interior monologue. A fact that undermines the conventional wisdom that one's inner voice is one's own. This is an important one as well, because no matter what I say to you, no matter how off the cuff or improvised I am in this video, I can't come anywhere close to what's actually happening in my head, which is the goal. This voice is not what I hear when I'm thinking. I don't really even hear a voice. I see words, maybe, images, and it goes, 100 miles an hour, not like this. And that's why it's so difficult to articulate these kind of things, to really endow what you make with truth. When I think about this problem, I actually think that I'm better, or that I come closer to that thing when I am producing music than when I am producing video. I think if I had to choose, the music that I make, the sounds that I make, come closer to expressing me than this does. This is what I'm talking about. A challenging idea like this is invaluable, because understanding yourself and truly interrogating yourself on different ideas like this is the best thing we have for reaching answers. Coupland's belief that one should read as often as possible because it gives your mind a break, it lets someone else hijack your thoughts for a moment, is something that I'm starting to truly believe in. And it's partly my justification for making a video like this. I'm not a social media martyr. I don't want your pity or your concern. I don't voice these things because I want to be popular. I just want to share my experience, my thought process, in the hopes that I might hijack your mind for a few minutes. Comparing yourself and your human experience to that of someone else is the only real way we have to get perspective on anything interior. I want you to feel good or bad or sad or happy or hopeful for the length of this video, and then take that with you into whatever you do next. If it helps me survive, earn more money, sell more music, reach my goals sooner, that's a bonus. And if it helps me understand myself any better, I can cross that off my list.